wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Also emphasize what Volker said. We can do things like masking, like ventilation, like social distancing that will help against any variant. And even though I completely understand these are invasive and nobody likes them, but these are things we can do. And the more that we take these kinds of actions earlier, oftentimes if you act earlier, smaller things will make a bigger difference. And I also think we need to be thinking about how to act more smartly. We've had 2 years now. We do have some idea of which of these are more effective, less effective. We know very much now that, COVID is airborne. And we could be maybe doing a little bit more to talk about how to make spaces safer so that we don't necessarily have to close places when cases rise or when a new variant arrives. So I think it is worth making sure that we aren't just putting in the same restrictions that we did in early 2020 when we didn't really know how transmissible the virus was, and that we're advancing our knowledge so that we can be more targeted and hopefully less disruptive, even when we do have to introduce some restrictions sometimes.
All right. Let's make sure we go through as many questions.
For example, I think one thing that's a bit of a misconception is that when we can only look for new variants like Omicron from the moment we identify them forward in time. But this actually isn't true. We identify Omicron by looking for a specific pattern of mutations. And once we've identified that, we actually go back through the whole entire collection of sequences from the beginning of the pandemic, and we can look for that pattern of mutations in all of them. And so, no, we have done this, and we don't see any Omicron sequences or anything even near Omicron popping up in Europe in the summer, or there was another tweet going around today, something in the US in the summer. We don't see any evidence that Omicron was around before the sequences that we see in South Africa.